There we go. Streamy Weemies. Hey Ken, how's it going? Hey Stars Live, how's it going? I didn't check your message. I haven't really checked anybody's messages on Discord right now. Hey Rhea. Rhea and something else. How you doing? Doing fine? Good. There we go. I wonder if it's actually a live. There we go. There we go. Seeing if it was actually a shorts. Hypocritically thinking, is it worth it to buy a Rolex for some as a gift? I have no idea. I'm not a watch person. You were painting the Mona Lisa. Oh, that's great. You completed it? That's awesome. How you doing? Nice. You can post on Discord. Hey, Peaky Blinders. Yeah, that would be fine. Oh, thanks, Peaky Blinders. Hey, Zendoga. Just friend me. Yeah, just friend me and we'll figure it out. Which digital piano would you suggest to buy for beginners? My budget is $1,000. If you truly want to get like specifically a digital piano, so something to play like classical music on, I would highly recommend getting whatever Roland FP model is in your budget. So with $1,000, I think you can get the 30 and still get like a stand and a sustain pedal for your trebles. That's what I would go for, the FP30. And the reason why is you can go the Yamaha route, you can go the Casio route. There's a bunch of different routes you can go, but the Roland is like a beast when it comes to specifically how it feels. Thanks, Indoka. A Roland is specifically how it feels and also the sound of specifically the piano. Now, if you wanted a all-around multi-purpose board, I would be looking into the MX series from Yamaha and getting an MX board for $1,000. But that would be like if you were trying to just gig, and specifically gig like in a band setting. All right, we're gonna practice a little bit while we're chilling here. Yep, I got you, Stars Live. Well, I'll check it later. Hey, Tilted EXP, how's it going? How are you doing? Good? Awesome. All right. I'm gonna work on this a little bit more here. We're gonna work on the, let's see, this part. This is nice. Sure, Ken. What's up? It's like the 4th stream. Nice. There you go. Hey Jace, how you doing? Oh. Yes, coffee. Sure, Ken, no problem. Hey, Belle. How's it going? Yeah, it's fantasy impromptu. That's why you recognize it. A little sloppy on this. I'm not liking it. That part there. Let me get that better. How many subs do I get a day? It depends. Yeah, I'll take requests. Piano Seeker, Etude Number 6 by Philip Glass. I just didn't see it. How many subs do I get a day? It just depends. So last month I think I got over 7,000 subs. So that would mean what? Approximately 200 a day. Obsessed by Zindros. When you press your keys, why do they bounce like real keys? Because I'm pretty sure they are. Like this action is about as close as you can get to real piano keys. I don't have any specific way to actually listen to songs on this. Oh. Congrats, Ken. I didn't know. Wow, that's crazy. Where's my coffee? It's right here. Alright, here we go. What kind of coffee do I prefer? It's all over the place. I am both extremely snobbish about coffee and also extremely totally fine with anything. So what I mean by that is like I love pour overs. I will 100% drink like and just enjoy like a very handcrafted pour over, try to get tasting notes from it, right? But then at the same time, like, I have no problem. For example, this is instant coffee. Nah, I don't like too weak. Too strong is okay. Too weak is a problem. Too weak is definitely a problem. I can't play any music on my current setup, so I can't learn it by ear. Microtonal music is insane. I love it. Have you listened to the Ives piano duet? This piece is looping in my head throughout the day. It's a nice piece, Piano Seeker. Honestly, I have not really dived into Philip Glass's piano repertoire that much. All right, let's learn a little bit more of this. Okay, so that one. Piano versus keyboard, which is best? Depends on what you're doing, but piano most of the time. Remember you? Hey, Madva. Yeah, of course. You listen to Excess and Us? Awesome, Jace. What do you think? So from my personal point of view, piano is like, I would take a crappy piano any day over like a great. Thank you, Jace. I would take a crappy piano over a really good keyboard almost any day. There's something about a physical piano that is just almost impossible to beat, in my opinion. Now, gigging wise, it gets a lot more complicated because of the size and then the different things of that. That makes sense, Ken. By the way, what about the theme part of this? There is no theme today. Where do you get the cover art for the songs? For my songs? It's a combination of things. These days I'm doing more a combination of prompting and Procreate. I used to only do Procreate, but now with AI I do a mixture. Honestly, I'd be totally down with somebody to help and do the art, but there's only so many hours in the day. Many say lyrical parts are often harder than the flashy theme. I think that's totally true. How do you decide how much rubato a piece really needs? That's a great question. Okay, so probably the best way to describe how that works is imagine that you have this rubber band, and as you're changing the tempo, as you're adjusting it faster or slower, it's like you're pulling on the rubber band. Garbage. I'll pull up garbage, sure. We can do garbage. I feel like garbage. As you're pulling on that rubber band, it's going to get to a point where it's going to need to snap back. If you pull too much, the snapback is so ridiculous, it breaks. That is where it's too much. So this is not going to be a very satisfying answer, but ultimately it's going to be kind of to taste of how far you're going to pull on it, all right? Some people are going to have this ability by personality, by drive, I don't know, to be able to pull that rubber band like in crazy, but then they find the perfect moment to bring it back. Other people, they're just going to barely tug on that sucker and just do a tiny little rubato. I don't think there's a wrong answer, but you don't, if it becomes so here, I'll actually give you an example. So here's obviously too much rubato. Did you hear how like the phrase died? That's what happens. But instead, let's imagine we set the tempo. Right? I'm thinking after my studies I start learning aircraft engineering. I mean, aircrafts are going to be around for a while. It's probably a pretty good career path. Make a compilation playlist of these clips teaching different piano stuff. It's not a bad idea, but I just don't know if I have the brain power, the time to do that. Anyone else is welcome to monetize that sucker if you're getting views from it, all the above. Playing the same piece but on different days my rubato changes. Like, how do you manage this? That sounds like a feature. That doesn't sound like a bug. No problem, Susan. Twilight Serenade. Here, I'll pull that up. So this is what I would say. It's actually great to switch up what you're doing in terms of rubato and other things. Oh, there is no way we're going to teleportation for humans is not going to exist for a really long time. That's what I'm saying. Airplane engineering, I think, would be a very safe career. This is what I would say about your rubato changing day to day. You do want a degree of consistency to the point that you can make progress. So if you find that like every day it's completely drastically different for no reason, you're probably just being a little lazy and not really settling into something. But if you do find that you're just experimenting and you're also just feeling the space, like, especially if you go to a different instrument or in a different room, it's going to feel different in terms of how much rubato you should have. Like literally just because the notes will last longer or not as long. How do you know what chords to play on your left hand or what chords you playing just all together? Is that scientists are definitely working on how to teleport. They already actually did teleport one thing. That was cool. I'm not quite sure what you're asking, Susan. In general, like on any piece or whatever. So the trick with to knowing what chords to play in your left hand is what chords are in the song. Oh, how do you memorize chords? I like to memorize them based on type, and then grouping them together. So 1, 4, 5, and then so you can do C, F, G, which are 1, and then you do A, D, E. Yes, thank you, window change. Yeah, they teleport a particle. And then you do 2 black keys. And then you do the weird ones. And then you do the same thing with minor. White key. Hey, Mustafa, how's it going? 1 black key. 2 black keys. And then the weird ones. Yeah, that's probably the easiest way to go through all those. But yeah, just take it day after day. I mean, here's the thing: you're gonna hear me play, and you're gonna be like, "Wow, he just knows so much stuff." And then you have to realize I've spent hours of my day, every single day, for 28 years. So, if you could get one chord in your brain today, you would know every single chord, every single triad, basic triad, in 24 days. Like in a month, you would know all the chords really, really well. Where's my sword? What do you mean? Why does my Grand have no keys in some shorts? Because it was getting maintained. And so I took a bunch of videos of it with no keys because it was funny. Do I imagine a sound before you play or discover it as you play? In my case, if I have a rough idea and play different pieces that would feel connected, mostly works but sometimes mess up. Yeah, that's you're discovering things. That's great. Oh yeah, Slow Town. Yeah, I'm not gonna probably be listening to any songs to track them down today, Susan, because I don't have that set up yet, like that. Watch Vinland Saga for the answer. Started a new job. Oh, awesome. What type of work, if you don't mind me asking, Mustafa? Do 505. If I just type in 505 piano PDF, do I get a song? Oh, 505 by the Arctic Monkeys. I did get a song. Wind of Change is absolutely dead on. Music theory is actually maybe the easiest thing to learn from scratch. Like, I'm dead serious. Music theory is probably the easiest thing to learn from scratch. Technique is definitely the hardest. And yes, fixing habits is really hard. If you were trying to like hack your way into being a really good musician, you would want to find some very flexible teacher to just get to get you on the right path, to just sit there and like smack you and be like, hey, no, you need to play like this, get your technique on point, and then just send you on your way. You could totally get away with that. Like, you could do an in-depth like 6-month boot camp, get all those general technique habits down, and then go off on your own thing and get a general perspective of how to learn music. Of course. Susan, you're a 21 Pilots fan. I'm noticing. My kids love 21 Pilots. One, 2E, and 3, and 1. You gotta sing on stage once? Nice! You're in DevOps now? Oh, cool. Not very hard, but time consuming? Hey, you gotta pay the bills. Always important to pay the bills. Oh, Ride? Yep. Yes. Yes, Susan. Yeah, I saw him twice this year, so I know exactly the part of the show you're talking about. Learning theory might be boring for some, but I doubt someone who couldn't handle theoretical parts would endure the brutal technical parts. It just depends on personality. I know a lot of people who their technique is on point, but they just can't stand theory. I mean, think about bodybuilding. Like the biggest guys tend to be the people who have no idea um, about about how to actually understand how the body actually works. Yeah, no problems, Indoga. Charlie Brown Christmas. What's my motivation? You're fine, fit girl. Lurk away. This is a lurk safe zone. Honestly, with the way that YouTube has adapted recently, I think tomorrow we'll do a horizontal live stream. I think we're probably going to do 3 horizontals and then like 2 verticals. And the verticals may just be from my phone, to be honest. And the horizontals are probably just going to be more vibing. Like tomorrow I may grab my Christmas book and do that. What's my motivation? My motivation is quite simple. I would like to make the world a better place. So I am motivated to help in any way I can. And the first and foremost, of course, is raising kids. But then raising 5 kids. And then the second is music, for sure. But yeah. I think music is very powerful. Yeah, no problem. was it? I've only learned parts of some songs. Don't judge me on my song choices. The songs I've learned is Redecorate, Christmas Saves the Year, Garbage, Slow Town, and the Stranger Things theme. Why would that be? Why would I judge? Also, Susan, something that you should know, and I don't know if you've been in enough streams to realize this, I think that everybody should be entitled to have the music taste that they have. I defend everyone's right to enjoy cringe. Yes, I would not go so far to say this is a judgment-free zone. Like, I do think that it's important to say true things if that makes a difference. So, like, if somebody's making a poor technical choice or theory choice, I will call them out. But for the most part, especially musical choices, like what you want to play, what you want to listen to, like, people are way too quick to judge. And so much of it is kind of ridiculous if you think about it. Like, for example, there's so many people who are really annoyed at the song Ordinary right now, right? The song. This is a learning zone. Yes, that's a good way to put it. And and the reason why they're annoyed at this is because it's not, they think that people should have deeper musical tastes than they have, and it's very, very popular. It's like they resent how popular Alex Warren is. And this happened not that long ago with a different person, Ed Sheeran. And here's the funny thing. A lot of Ed Sheeran fans would be like, ugh, Alex Warren, how derivative, how simple, how whatever. And I'm old enough now, I've seen this cycle many times. There are people who legitimately listen to the Backstreet Boys and then judge the music right now and be like, oh, it wasn't like the good old days in the 2000s when we had the Backstreet Boys. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, that was cringe. Like, I Want It That Way was straight up cringe, like when I was young. So people just, they always reflect and then they do judgments. And again, you just kind of have to give people patience and just let them discover music on their own way. And again, would I like for people to also listen to as well, like stuff like Chopin and Liszt? Absolutely. But if you come in with that attitude, you're going to burn any bridge, any hope that you had of anybody wanting that type of music. Because you're just going to come in and be like, oh, your music sucks. And then they're not going to want to listen to stuff like Chopin or Liszt because you were obnoxious. Do La Campanella Coda. You know what? Today is a slow enough stream, and I know Wind of Change is also going to get a kick out of it. Let's go to the La Campanella Coda and just try to learn it. How about that? What, all the octave part, right? You just joined? Awesome. How you doing, Reality? You gotta learn to sight read, bud. And then back to you. Oh, that's octave apart. Sorry. True. Sight reading is so underrated. Yes. Resentful and condemning, for lack of a less harsh word. Yeah. By nature nowadays. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's called Mr. Sandman. Mr. Sandman, give me a dream. Yeah, this is the first time I've been playing this, really. Yeah. Totally first time playing it. Let's take a little break from that. We'll go back to the beginning of La Campanella. We'll start learning La Campanella. Why not? Oh, Mr. Liebstrom, Mr. Liebstrom, give me a dream, make it a lovey-dove one that I've ever seen. What do you mean I'll never do it? We'll learn La Campanella. Here you go. You want to learn La Campanella? Let's do it right now. Oh, so you think that I don't realize that I'm practicing right now. Left hand, I see that it has a rolled line. You do realize that I'm practicing right now. This is what I'm gonna do when to change. I'm gonna show up at your house randomly, and I'm just gonna critique every way that you practice the whole time you're practicing. I'm just gonna sit right next to it, and I'm just gonna be like, oh, wrong note there. Oh, go slower. Oh, go faster. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just giving you a hard time. Which musical terms do I... whichever one works. Ah. There we go. Becomes picky, rage-baiting teacher. Yeah, man. That drove me crazy when I was a kid. The teacher that just literally just sits there and just picks to death. Like, you can't get through a piece at all. I appreciate it, Reality. Yeah, No, the live streams were doing really, really well, and then YouTube changed everything, which tends to happen. So we'll figure out a way to get the live streams cooking again. Honestly, I'm kind of feeling like going the other way. I may end up just doing like an alternating of like practicing some days on live stream and just do horizontal and just go for the people with the longer attention span and just not worry about it as being a growth angle. I get enough growth from my shorts that I'm kind of just feeling like maybe I should just do it. This totally obliterates the will to actually study anything. Do I need to stop live streaming so you go study Wind of Change? Because I will. You're planning on becoming a YouTuber in a couple of years? What's your plan, Susan? Reality. Just for Wind of Change. That's how much I care. Oh, perfect, overachiever. Yeah, I'm thinking about going a different direction because like I love shorts in general because they're easy to make. Well, they're not really easy to make, but they're fun, right? They're fun and you get exposed to such a massive audience these days. So I love that. Shorts live streaming I've enjoyed because I've been able to collect an audience over time that would not have been possible for me with horizontal live streaming. But I do want to try to create more of an actual community, and that I think is going to be horizontal live streaming. So we'll figure it out. There's a lot of things I'm going to try to think over the holiday break. He makes high quality videos and transitions. No, no offense taken, Susan. I intentionally do. No, I have a lot of loyal community members already, Overachiever, and I greatly appreciate all of them. No, they're awesome. Tons of awesome people already in this community. Susan, I'm totally down with doing practice streams. So in general, something you have to balance, and this is good for Susan to hear. The more quality blood, sweat, and tears you pour into something, okay, all right, I'll see you, Susan. The more quality and blood, sweat, and tears you pour into something, the more you have to be careful because you're not necessarily going to get the result that you want from it. It has to be personally fulfilling to you. So you kind of have to always balance this thing. If you're doing it for yourself, make sure that you understand you're doing it for yourself. And if you don't get any kudos, anything, then that's okay. And like practice live streams, that's the cool thing about practice live streams. At the end of the day, it's like a net bonus that I get to hang out with people while practicing. And then other times though, like when the live streaming has been on fire and I've been getting like 50, 70, 100 people watching, like it's not really a great time to be like, oh, I'm going to do a practice live stream, right? I'm going to do a bunch of requests. And I think I annoyed some of my more older time mods with that because I think they wanted me to just stay in that practicing more in-depth, more deep mindset. Yes, it's a good variety. I agree with Mustafa. Hey, CK, how's it going? So it is very much getting that back and forth and getting that figured out. All right, we're going to actually get this down here. So the first thing is getting this right hand down because this is the harder part. You got to be fearless with this. If you're not fearless with it, it's not going to work. So it's... Yeah, we're doing La Campanella. All right, and then what? This part? Ah. There you go. Yeah, I'm only doing one hand because that's the right hand part. Ah. Okay, so now we're going to do it one more time, and we're going to do this ridiculously slowly. And the point of this is to make sure that everything is lined up and clean. And then we're going to try it a bit faster. Oh. I don't know at all what that means, reality. All right, let's try one more time. Oh, chicken, but... And then here we go. Oh. Play Talking in Your Sleep by the Romantics. Sure, we'll go over to that and then we'll go back to La Campanella. I'm going to get this beginning done and then we'll probably be done for today. One, two, three. That is definitely one of those things that at the beginning you're like, and then you get the rhythm of it and you're like, ooh, okay, all right, I'm into that. That was nice. I like that. Okay, all right, let's try this. All right, I'll see you, reality. There we go. We're getting there. When you hit 25K, I should bring back the golden balloons. That depends on my wife. I don't buy those type of things. I don't think about those type of things. It's not a bad idea. Although the K is still alive, which is kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie, this piece is so boring. So boring. I love Liszt. This piece is so boring. This is basically, yes, a million bajillion. Yeah, well, okay, but okay. Here's the funny thing. That's all Liszt pieces. That's every single Liszt piece. What do you think this is? But okay, it does develop more. I'd say as other things develop more. This is very much just like entirely variations. And it is kind of just like literal technical fireworks for the sake of technical fireworks. And I don't think that that's really my cup of tea. I don't think I've never been the person like when I played a lot of jazz, I was learning a lot of jazz, there were guys that would literally all they'd want to do at jam sessions is go Yeah, I've taught solfeggio many times, Zendoka. This thing. Yes. Yep, taught that guy many times. I will show you my cup of tea. If you guys want to know what my cup of tea is, I've been ragging on a lot of things. Let me show you what I'm into in terms of what I like to play, what I like to read in terms of classical music. I'll do a little bit of this and then I'll get rolling. Our average view duration is like way high today, but then that also makes sense because it's very low amounts of people watching, which again is totally fine. All right, here we go. Here's some Prokofiev. Yes, and he's yes, exactly. His piano concertos are really good too. I think his etudes are some of his weakest works. Totentanz is really good too. Here's another really pretty one. Hey Tarun, how's it going? Yeah, I agree. I don't think a sonata. I don't think a sonatas are like. I would say. I would say. I would say for Liszt, his Hungarian Rhapsodies are peak. His concertos are peak. Annie's de Pella, yes, Annie's Pella, whatever, the rest of the word, peak. But then after you get past that, as much as I love Liszt, it's, yeah, not as much. Love from Bangladesh, awesome. We've got quite the international contingent right now. Yeah, I mean, and again, I also have a soft spot for romantic fluff. Do you think pianists have better reflexes than F1 drivers? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Musicians in general are horrible athletes. I'm just going to say that right now. Very uncoordinated people. Musicians are very uncoordinated. They typically have a very low physical IQ. They don't understand their bodies very well. That's actually something that helps you improve a lot as a musician, is being in tune with your body. Very few musicians actually do that, though. Yeah, I would agree with Wind of Change. Most of the time, the default musician is someone with a very low amount of awareness of their surroundings, because they're so in tune, they're so focused on that one thing that they're doing. And so to get them out of that tunnel mindset makes them better musicians, but is not a normal thing for people to do. Ah, come on. They might be good for your brain. I would not say they're killing your body. That's a little extreme. I would not say they're killing their body, but from losing hearing to getting arthritis and extra weight, no. I would not say that. They're not default positive. They're also not default negative. You're going to get arthritis if you're not paying attention. Otherwise, the extra activity will actually stave off calcification of your joints. You're going to lose your hearing if you are listening to it too loud. That's actually probably the fairest point. It's really hard if you love music not to expose your ears to too much noise. So the losing hearing is probably a fair point, to be honest. So much of that is genetically derived, though. Like, some people just have really, really good hearing with that. The extra weight thing I also agree with, because, and it's true, honestly, of anybody doing anything that feels like vigorous exercise and is not. Musicians and Apple Watches have made this so much worse. Musicians think they're exercising when they're playing music. What about eyesight? I think it's probably better for your eyesight. Okay, so this is my theory. This is my theory, and it comes from sports science and exercise science, which is if you really actually look at how our bodies work, if you do something more, your body gets stronger. And it's not just your joints. Sorry, your muscles. It's your joints too. So if you're constantly exercising, for example, like our eyes, like people talk about like, oh, you're straining your eyes. That should be a good thing. You want your eyes to have some degree of burden, because then your skills will stay the same or potentially get stronger, right? That's how our bodies work. That's how they work with everything. That's how our joints work. That's how our muscles work. Like, I was getting off of a stage the other day and I jumped off the stage, and this guy, maybe 15 years older than me, like almost lost it. He was just like, man, your knees. And I'm just like, yeah, I squat with very heavy weight, super duper low. They call it ass to grass, right? Where you get your butt almost all the way to the floor. And so I put all this pressure on my knees in a controlled environment. So then when I jump off the stage, I don't have to worry about my knees exploding. But there's a ton of people my age where if they jumped off a stage, their knees would explode. So I think the big problem with musicians in general, with exercise and with taking care of their bodies, is music mimics activity, but it's nowhere near as strenuous as what you actually need. And so their brain, and honestly, it's the same with computer work. When you sit in front of a computer, your brain is getting so stimulated that when you are thinking, oh, maybe I should go to the gym or maybe I should go outside for a walk, you feel tired, right? But you haven't done anything. Exactly. And that I 100%, 1000% agree with you, Wind of Change. And that I think is why so many musicians get so out of shape. Do I watch Steven Universe? I do not. Overworking, 100%. 100% Zendoka. Yes. No, I do not watch Steven Universe. All right, I got to get rolling for today, but I appreciate all of you. Thanks so much. I think we may do a horizontal stream tomorrow. I'll see. I need to think through it, but I'll make a decision. We're going to try out some different formats, different things. But thanks so much for tuning in. Peace out, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks so much. All right, bye.